Okay, guys, let's talk about factoring by grouping. So factoring by grouping is a really good candidate typically when we have a 4-term polynomial. So all of these examples have 4 terms. And when I say grouping, that means that we want to put the factors or the terms, into 2 different groups. So we want to first make sure that it's arranged in standard form as far as our exponents go. So we want, in this first example, see we start with the x to the 3rd power, and x to the 2nd, then x, and then our constant. Okay, so we're going to group it into 2 groups. And we're going to factor the GCF out of each group. So in the first set of terms, I've got x cubed and 5x squared. So since the first term does not have a coefficient, we're not going to be able to bring out a coefficient right there. But I can bring out x squared. I can bring out 2 of my x's. Okay, so I'm left with x plus 5. So our goal when we factor by grouping is to have both sets of parentheses, both sets of what's left over, match. So I see on the second one, I have a negative 2x and a minus 10. So I see that they both have a 2 in common. But if I factored out a 2, I would have a negative x and a negative 5 left over. And I want positive. So I'm actually going to factor out a negative 2. So if I divide negative 2x, remember on GCF, we're dividing to see what's left over. If I divide these by negative 2, I'm left with a positive x, and then negative 10 divided by negative 2 is positive 5. Okay, so see how we have 2 sets of parentheses that match up? That's our goal in grouping, because now that we have that, we're going to be able to take these outside terms and write that as one factor, and then we have x plus 5 as our other factor. And we don't write it twice, we just bring it down once. Because if we distribute it out, I would have x squared times x and x squared times 5, which is what you have with this first set right here. And then I would have negative 2 times x and negative 2 times 5, which is what you have in the second set up on the top. So we've essentially just taken our pieces and we've rearranged them. Okay? Because we have the first set of terms in parentheses, we only have to write that x plus 5 one time. So our factored form would be x squared minus 2 times x plus 5. Let's try example 17. I'm going to group them together. My first set of terms, I can pull out a 4 and a b. I'm left with a plus 2. And then in my second set of terms, I'm going to pull out a positive 3. Once again, I'm left with a plus 2. So as you can see, these 2 pieces match up. So I'm going to bring that down. And then my other term comes from these factors that we pulled out. So my other term would be 4b plus 3. And this would be factored form. Okay, let's look at 18. Oops, cut that one off too soon. Sometimes drawing on the iPad is a little trickier than it seems. Okay, so this first term, or the first factor, I'm going to pull out a 6 and an m, and I'm left with n plus 3. And that very closely resembles my negative n minus 3, but I need the signs on that second factor to change. So I'm going to bring out a negative 1. Anytime you want to change the signs, we just need to bring out a negative. So it's going to leave me with a positive n and a positive 3. Now these 2 pieces match up. So I'm going to bring down the n plus 3. And my other factor is going to be 6m minus 1. And that comes from right